How to lose weight the right way. This is my complete sustainable fat loss guide. So, most people don't fail fat loss because they're lazy, okay? They fail because they have a bad plan. They diet too aggressively, too long, no exit plan, no accountability, wrong foods, blah, blah, blah. So, I'm going to show you here how long to diet, how much weight to lose, how to set your macros, what even is a macro, how to train, what to eat, how to avoid rebound. Crucial, crucial, crucial. And this is the exact framework I use. So let's get into it. So we'll start with the big picture. How much weight should you lose? Okay. You might think all of it. I want to just get shredded in one go. Depends on how much weight you have to lose. Okay. So you do not want to lose all your weight in one diet if you have a bunch of weight to lose. So say you are a 200-pound person. I'm about 200 pounds. I'm 185 right now. You want to lose 10 to 20 pounds in one dieting phase. Okay. So 20 pounds would be 10% of your body weight. 10% would be 5%. Okay. So 5 to 10% of your body weight total. 180 pound person, that's going to be 9 to 18 pounds. If you're 160 pounds, you want to lose maybe 8 to 16 pounds. Okay. So if you're 300 pounds, 15 to 30 pounds. All right. So for most people, 10 to 15 pounds per phase is ideal, okay? Not 30, not 40, not as much as possible, again, unless you're a larger person. So, and why do we do this? It's so we don't rebound, basically. There are a bunch of reasons, but once you get too far into a dieting phase and have lost too much weight, your likelihood of rebounding goes up, and I've experienced that many times in the past. So take it from me. Do it in chunks, okay? You can lose, like, say, 20 pounds, and then maintain for a while, lose another 20 pounds if you need to. Anyways, how fast should you lose? This is step 2. The ideal rate for most people is going to be 0.5% to 1% of body weight per week. Okay. So again, examples. If you're 200 pounds, you're going to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week. If you're 150 pounds, you're going to lose 0.75 to 1.5 pounds per week. Okay. If you lose faster than that, you risk muscle loss, being super hungry, energy going to, tanking, and your binge eating risk increases. Your risk of rebound increases. Just don't do it, okay? 0.5% to 1% of body weight per week. Number 3, how long should your weight loss diet last? Because we can't lose weight forever, then we'll die, okay? For most people, I would say 6 to 16 weeks is the sweet spot, with 8 weeks being a great place for a lot of people. Okay. So why not diet longer? Why don't we just diet for a whole year? A bunch of reasons. Diet fatigue accumulates. Your hormones get all messed up. Your NEAT, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, drops. You're just going to be moving around less throughout the day. Training performance drops if you're losing too much weight in one go. Adherence certainly declines. You'll start to have extra snacks and maybe add a little bit more fats to everything. And yeah, you're just a bunch of bad things happen. So long diets lead to rebounds, binge cycles, all or nothing behavior. So cap it at, I would say, 16 weeks tops, unless you have a lot of weight to lose, and less than that is great. So step 4, what to do after the diet. This is crucial, and not a lot of people talk about this one. This is where a lot of people mess up. After the diet, you want to spend, I would say, 4 to 8 weeks minimum at maintenance. Ideally, you spend as much time at maintenance as you spent during the diet. So if you dieted for 16 weeks, spend 16 weeks at maintenance, or in a lean bulk, but that's a little more advanced maneuver. Okay, so again, why do we do this? Acclimate your body. Your body just lost a ton of weight. You want to practice maintenance is another thing. Just lifestyle practice maintenance. Maintenance is difficult in and of itself because you're not, making progress on the scale, but you still can't eat everything in sight. So maintenance, super important. You will, feel nice to eat a little extra food at maintenance after the diet. So slowly increase your calories after the diet. Maybe 200 to 300 per day per week. So say you were at 2,500 calories at the end of your diet. Week 1 after the diet, raise up to, let's say, 2,700 calories, and then per day. Week 2, maybe 2,900 until your maintenance is 3,000. Then the third week you raise up to maintenance, and you're good. Just an example there. Of course, keep your protein high, keep training hard. We'll get into all that stuff later on in this video. But the goal after you come out of the diet is to stabilize your weight, more or less. Improve performance in the gym. Your performance will be improved as you add in food, improve your metabolism, and really lock in your results. Okay, so after you've done a maintenance phase, you can run another 6 to 8 week cut later if you want to. Okay, so think in phases, not just one endless diet. So what to eat? How to set up your macros. So macros, for those of you who don't know, are macronutrients, the large nutrients, protein, carbs, and fats. Okay, so I recommend a flexible dieting approach, which means you follow a certain amount of macros. So let's say it's 2,500 calories, 200 grams of protein per day, 65 grams of fats per day, and then the rest of carbs. Okay, and then you're gonna more or less hit those. You can be a little above or below. You don't have to hit the numbers right on. But that's flexible dieting, tracking macros, and you can kind of mix and match your foods so that you hit your macros. Set protein first, okay? Usually the sweet spot is 1 gram per pound of body weight per day. Let's stick with that. Make it simple, okay? So if you're 200 pounds, you're going to eat 200 grams of protein. If you find that difficult, start a little lower and raise it as you can. If you're very overweight, you can get away with a little less protein. So say you're 300 pounds, you don't necessarily need to eat 300 grams of protein. You can aim for more like maybe 250, 275, something like that, okay? Step 2, fats. So we do need fats. We need dietary fats. And we're going to start with 0.3 to 0.4 grams per pound of body weight is a great way to start. So if you're a 200-pound person, it's going to be 60 to 80 grams of fat per day. If you are a 150-pound person, 45 to 60 grams. Okay, don't push your fats too low; it'll mess up your hormones. And don't push them too high. The issue with that is that fats over a certain amount don't help as much as more carbs for training and satiety. We don't want to lower protein. So fats kind of keep in that range. The basic idea is we keep protein and fats more or less the same, regardless if we're going to be gaining weight or losing weight. Fats can go up and down a little bit, but for the most part, protein and fats are going to be pretty much around the same range, and carbs is what we fluctuate a lot. So, if I'm bulking, say I'm 200 pounds, my protein's still going to be around 200 grams, maybe slightly higher. Fat's going to be probably around 60 to 80 grams per day, and then I'll just fill in the rest with carbs, basically. So if I'm cutting at like 2,500 calories, it'll be lower carbs. If I'm at like 4,000 calories for a bulk, it'll be higher carbs, whereas protein and fats stay more or less the same. So, okay. So fill the remaining calories with carbs. After you've set your protein at, let's just keep it simple, 1 gram per pound of body weight per day, and then fats at 0.3 to 0.4 grams per pound of body weight per day, fill the rest with carbs, okay? So, for example, if you're 180 pounds, let's say your protein is 180, your fat is 60, and your carbs are 250 grams of carbs per day. So that'll put you at something like 2,200 calories. Check my math on that one, but something like that, okay? Carbs are great. They fuel training. And they taste good. Okay, so we got macros. What to eat? So the great thing about flexible dieting is you do not have to only eat chicken, rice, and broccoli. However, that being said, the more whole foods, the more healthy foods, the more single ingredient foods you eat, the better it is for lots of reasons. Number 1, satiety. 200 calories from potatoes is going to fill you up a lot more than 200 calories from a cookie. Number 2, training. Again, 200 calories from potato is going to fuel your training a lot better than 200 calories from a cookie. And then, of course, number 3 is health. A potato is healthier than a cookie. I don't need to explain that, okay? Now, that being said, you do not need to eat only whole foods, only healthy, clean foods. Flexible dieting allows us to have some treats. So I do recommend mostly whole foods. And then if you want, you can fit in some less clean, tastier snack foods just to keep you sane and, because they're tasty and for enjoyment, and life should be enjoyed while we hit our fitness goals. So for me personally, I eat close to 100% of clean, whole foods. And then if I'm going out or, it was Valentine's Day recently, so we got some chocolates in the house. So I'll have some chocolates after a workout and fit them in my macros, and it's all good. So base your diet on lean proteins. I'll give you some food examples: chicken, turkey, Greek yogurt, egg whites, tuna, lean protein bars. These are just a couple examples. High volume vegetables. Vegetables are my number one diet hack. So broccoli, asparagus, salads, spinach. I personally have broccoli and asparagus every day, and then I'll have spinach and smoothie with post-workout. Put some protein powder in there, some frozen spinach, some fruit. And then a huge salad every night at night with spinach, salad mix, cucumbers, bell peppers, tomatoes, sometimes avocado. So vegetables are my number one diet hack. Okay. Carbs, potatoes are my number one. They're the most satiating carb source. Oats are good as well. Rice, a little less filling. Potatoes are what I eat the most of because they're the most filling. They go great with any kind of meat. They go great with eggs. You fry the eggs up, chop the eggs up a little bit, and then the egg yolk is a little runny. It can kind of go over the potatoes and super tasty. So, yeah. And then fruit, I have, an apple almost every day. I have a post-workout smoothie with blueberries and bananas. So fruit is great. Berries especially. I would say berries and apples are my two favorite and most filling fruits. Sugar is not bad, guys. And then, yeah, even things like, you can fit steak into your macros, lean beef. You do need some fats, obviously. So I have to get my fats from eggs, avocados, almonds sparingly. Nuts are probably the number one scam in health and fitness, in that they are healthy, but they're not conducive to weight loss. So if you're trying to lose weight, I would, take it easy on the nuts and don't buy peanut butter. Keep peanut butter out of the house if you can't eat it in moderation. So yeah, those are just a couple foods that I like. What did I miss? I mentioned eggs, bananas again. Let's get into some diet hacks kind of thing. Diet soda is a big one. Diet soda is totally fine for you in normal amounts. Sugar-free sauces, 0-calorie sweeteners like Sweet and Low, things like that. And popcorn. If you get popcorn that doesn't have any fat, it is actually a diet-friendly food. It's just voluminous, whatever that word is, and fills you up. But just don't drench it with fat and butter. So avoid liquid calories. Avoid hyper-palatable snack foods. These are going to make it easy to overeat. Avoid mindless eating. So that is just a quick overview of which foods to eat. But again, you have flexibility if you're tracking your macros. Eat mostly whole foods. Fit some tasty, chocolates, whatever you want. Halo Top ice cream is another good one. High protein ice cream. It is not cheap. I think it's like $6 to $7 per pint, but it is so tasty and it's a lot of protein. It's like 300 calories for an entire pint. So highly recommend Halo Top. Okay, training. You should probably be doing some exercise at this point. If you lose weight without lifting weights, you will lose muscle. So lift weights so you don't lose muscle. Your training won't change much during a cut as opposed to if you're maintaining weight or bulking. Some people say you should lower volume a little bit during training. Some don't. So you can do your own research on that one. But you're going to lift, I would recommend 3 to 5 times per week. Again, depending on your schedule, your training age, and your priorities. Your goal is to maintain strength and maintain your muscle, okay? If you're new, you might even gain some muscle and strength while cutting. If you're more advanced, probably not. You can just hope to maintain it. So, again, as usual, focus on compound lifts, progressive overload, which means you're increasing weights week to week, again, if you can. If you're more new to the gym, you can probably gain strength and muscle while losing weight. And don't drastically increase volume during a cut, okay? Either keep volume the same, maybe lower it a little bit if you're worried about recovery. So if your strength plummets, you are losing too much weight. Okay, you shouldn't. Your gym performance shouldn't suffer too much during a cut. Cardio. We want to start low on cardio. Let's talk about steps first. I would recommend starting with 8 to 10,000 steps per day, and then you can slowly increase that number during the cut. And again, you can slowly add cardio during the cut. So we start at basically minimum effective dose, and then we'll slowly add it as needed. So add in 2 to 3 cardio sessions per week if and when needed. I would say 20 to 30 minutes at a moderate intensity is a good baseline. Don't jump straight to 6 days of cardio. Okay, cardio is a tool, not punishment. So next one, mindset. This is a huge one. So fat loss is a phase, not your identity. Fat loss is a phase, not your identity. This is just a phase, okay? You're just executing a plan. We're going to get in, and then we're going to get out, and we're going to go back to eating a little bit normally. You should still eat mostly the same foods, by the way, when your fat loss diet is over. When some people, are like against the whole like word diet, I get what they're saying because you want something that's sustainable, but we don't want to diet forever, right? So my diet, like the foods I eat, don't really change much throughout the year. It's more just the portions. If I'm losing weight, I'll simply eat a little bit less. Fewer potatoes, fewer almonds, fewer oats, but keep healthy foods year round. So hunger is normal during a diet, okay? There will be some amount of hunger. There will be some suffering. So that is one huge thing I think to keep in mind. Come into this with, it's not always going to be easy. But if you follow everything I said, eating whole foods, not losing weight too quickly, eating some tasty foods that you like, that will make it much more enjoyable. But, you might be hungry sometimes. Energy might go down a little bit. Just know this is part of the plan. The scale, I recommend weighing yourself. Depends. Everyone's different, but I recommend more than once per week, like 2 to 3 times per week. The reason is this mitigates the impact of the daily fluctuations of weight that are normal. Okay. If you weigh every Sunday, you could randomly happen to be upon a high weight day or a low weight day, and you won't really know where you're at. So if you weigh 2 to 3 times per week, you can kind of average it. And this is what I ask of most of my clients. We have them weigh, again, 2 to 3 times per week. And you take the average. So avoid extreme calorie deficits, avoid emotional eating as much as you can, and avoid endless dieting and endless cutting. Okay? This is part of how a coach can help some people. I personally have a coach. I coach people. I have a coach. My coach even has a coach. He's a pro bodybuilder and he has a coach. So kind of goes to show that even the people who really know what's up benefit from a coach because it's someone else telling you basically what to do, and you follow them. You have that accountability. Even my pro bodybuilder coach has a coach. So and for me, one of the biggest helpful things of having a coach is actually he prevents me from bringing my calories too low when dieting, and just gradually brings the calories down throughout a diet. That's me personally. And then endless dieting. The part with coaching about that is that your coach will also tell you when to stop. Okay. So my coach, we got down to 183 and he was like, "You ready to be done?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. We're done." Because again, you don't want to diet forever. Some more diet hacks that actually work. I mentioned diet soda, sugar-free Jell-O. You can buy these little packs of Jell-O mix and make a little sugar-free Jell-O in the fridge, and it's like a whole bowl, and it's 80 calories, and it's all protein somehow. So that's a good one, especially during summer if you have a sweet tooth. Vegetables are always my number one. Diet soda and sugar-free Jell-O, those are great, but vegetables is mother's diet hack. Nothing bad about vegetables, okay? It's super satiating, super low calories, get your micronutrients in. Eat your veggies, guys. Sparkling water can help some people. 10-minute walk after meals is a huge one. steps are so good. They're so easy to do. And they just add up as far as calorie burn throughout the day, throughout the week. You can listen to a podcast, listen to me talk about fitness and nutrition stuff. Yeah, big fan of walks. High protein breakfast. You want to have protein during every meal. So yeah, start the day off with a high protein breakfast. Caffeine strategically. I didn't do a ton of caffeine this cut. I got up to like maybe 200 milligrams per day max, and I started lower than that. Just from diet soda. I didn't do coffee. Caffeine is a drug. Treat it accordingly, and definitely don't eat caffeine too late in the day. But some caffeine can blunt appetite and help with energy as well. Brush your teeth after dinner. This is a big one. Well, I guess a small one, but can help a lot for some people. You brush your teeth after dinner, and then if you want a snack, you'll have to brush your teeth again. So it's kind of just a way to prevent you from mindless grazing at night. Carbs at night are not necessarily bad. There was a myth about that. The reason some people say not to eat carbs after 8 or whatever is because a lot of people will overeat carbs at that time. So it's not a bad rule, but it's not like because carbs at night are particularly bad. It's just because a lot of people tend to overeat carbs at night. So, yeah, hope this was helpful. So again, dieting phases, keep it at 16 weeks tops. I would prefer more like 8 to 10 weeks for most people. Lose 5 to 10% of your body weight per phase. Take a maintenance phase after. Lift heavy weights. Do some cardio. High protein. We don't want to just lose weight. We want to lose fat, and we want to keep it off. Hope this was helpful, guys, and I hope you are successful in your weight loss, your fat loss, whatever it is your fitness journey is. I hope that you are successful. See you next time.